Hello Starcraft fans, Volty here coming at you with another Starcraft 2 beta commentary. This is Volty versus Bisu on Desert Oasis. Yes, you heard me right, I am playing against Bisu, or at least somebody who has the same name as Bisu, because as I discussed previously in Battle.net, you can all have the name Bisu if you want, as long as you attach a usually invisible identifier to the end of it, which could be anything like Bisu.I'mNotBisu, or Bisu.Bisu, or all sorts of other non-creative things. Okay, well, I'm playing against somebody who's named Bisu. Great. Super original. Good for him. I'm Protoss. He is Zerg. This is on Desert Oasis, as I mentioned. My opponent has the top position. Yes, and what is this? I am sending out an early probe. In fact, this was either my 6th or my 7th probe, and you do start off the game with 6 probes. So yes, this is a very early rush here. I'm going to build a pylon and then 2 gateways right outside my opponent's base and try to spam him with zealots. Now you may be thinking to yourself, why Volty? Why would you waste your time commentating a game where you just zealot rushed your opponent and beat him into the ground? Well, let me tell you, that doesn't actually work out for me. But the game was interesting and short, so I thought it would make a good commentary. So here we go. As I'm getting my first pylon up, my opponent has done very little else at this point, but build drones. Hooray, that's what you get for rushing. And here I go with 1 gateway and soon to be a 2nd. Of course, he has no idea this is happening, though his overlord will arrive at my base fairly soon here. There isn't that much distance between the bases, and he'll see that I have nothing, at which point it should be obvious what I'm doing. So, here we go. He also sees the probe coming into his base now pretty soon, I imagine, though this isn't so early that it wouldn't be that unusual for this to be a normal scout. That said, if you are playing and you do get scouted early by a probe, that should be at least one warning sign that you may be getting like super cheesy zealot rushed. That has happened to me a lot. In any case, I can see that my gateways are well ahead of his spawning pool, so I feel good about this for the moment. He's continuing to just spam drones. Though at this point his overlord is in my base, and he probably can see that I have not enough drones, that I don't have any other buildings, at least right here. And so he should start getting a little suspicious. Though he hasn't done anything yet but put up an extractor. And here comes my first zealot. Of course, I am chrono boosting my gateways here to get their zealots up as fast as I can, bringing in new zealots as quickly as I can mine the minerals to make them. And so here comes the first zealot, and I'm going to attack the spawning pool to start. He puts down a spine crawler and pulls his drones. He's going to try to surround my zealot with his drones, but I'm going to dodge that. Get the 2nd zealot in there. Now I have 2 zealots, which is a lot more than 1, especially when you're fighting a bunch of drones. That many drones can easily kill a single zealot, but with 2 zealots it's going to cost him. He's also losing all this mining time. My probe goes down. I feel good about the fact that he's losing mining time here, but I do let my zealots get surrounded, and they are going to have to fight to the death against these probes, drones, killing quite a number of them in the exchange, but now he's had time for his spine crawl to get up. So this is what you do against this kind of an early rush, by the way. You pull your drones. Like, this is... your drones is what you've spent the whole game building so far, and you have to use them. Now a queen is up as well, and it's getting... Wow, that queen is going completely neurotic and getting trapped behind this spawning pool. Giving my zealot time to destroy his spine crawler, and now I have 2 zealots against a pair of zerglings and a queen. One of my zealots is highly damaged with a single hit point left. The other zealot is going to face this force on his own. It looks like I'm going to have to pull back and regroup with some additional zealots. This one's shields are going to recharge. Now I have 3 zealots coming in here against the zerglings. They're going to start to go down pretty fast. Push the queen and try to take that out. So, continuing to build more zealots. Alright, so now we've got the drones being pulled again. You can see how they're instrumental in really reducing my zealot count again. And so that one even didn't even get that drone away from me without me getting a kill. So now this isn't really looking that great, because by this point I really should have put my opponent way worse off shape than he is. As you can see, he has 12 harvesters to my 6. I'm not building more zealots, though I should be. I think at this point I'm sort of thinking to myself, maybe I need to stop just spamming zealots. Yes, then that's right, I am actually starting to hit up some probes of my own. So I'm sort of kind of letting this off a little bit. He's going to start to dance with me with some zerglings. I'm going to chase them around. I mean, this game should really be lost for me, because not only am I behind in workers and general economy development, but I mean, my gateways are like super exposed here, so he should just be able to push those down, but he may not actually know where they are. I'm going to check his point of view. Yeah, he doesn't actually know where my gateways are, so maybe he's, you know, not going to try to push out now like I kind of expected him to, just because he hasn't found them yet, though I would certainly send a Zergling scout or two in each direction to look for where those gateways are at this point, because he knows they're not in my base. And taking those out would definitely seal the game for him at this point, if he eliminates my production and my tech, if you consider gateways tech. In any case, switching back to all players' view, I am going to decide that I'm going to defend these gateways in the field, that if I lose them, I'm definitely out, so I need to build zealots to defend them. And at the same time, I'm going to try to get things rolling in my base here. That's sort of the plan I have at the moment. My opponent is getting Zergling speed and going to a lair, so things are definitely going to spiral out of control quickly for me here unless I can stabilize the situation somehow. I am catching up on him in workers just a little bit, not too much. Anyways, here come these Zerglings now to attack my base, which is of course completely undefended, and so with my zealots still hanging out up here by my gateways, I'm not going to have anything to fight these Zerglings off with, except for my probes, it's true. Though 8 Zerglings can probably do quite a bit of damage here. My opponent continues to morph Zerglings at this point. I'm getting drones, probes, and zealots. And yep, here we go, completely undefended. Starts with the pylon. So I'm going to see this at this point and decide, oh gosh, his Zerglings probably aren't in his base, so I'm actually going to attack him with my zealots, and you can see them on the minimap here going in. And meanwhile, I'm going to use my probes to try to fight off his Zerglings. 4 Zerglings would die to that many probes, but now there's about to be 8, and then soon after that will be 10. Now the Zerglings are going to start to work on, in numbers here, are going to start to work on the probes, and I may not pull my probes here. At this point, I'm probably focusing on this micro over here. So we got Zealots versus drones, we have Zerglings versus probes. I do pull my probes here. They are going to fight the Zerglings, but not going to go too well for them. The Zealots, however, are making nice headway against the drones, so I feel good about that. I have killed his queen as well. So at this point, well, it looks like, so my base is totally taken out here. I have spent the rest of my crystal on a final Zealot, and my Zealots are pretty much going to clean up his Zerglings in his base while my Nexus goes down. And so when that goes down, it's not going to quite be a elimination for me, because I do have the gateways up here. So as long as I can protect those, I'll stay in the game. I do feel like I have an overwhelming number of Zealots in my opponent's base. So I've got, what do I have here? 5 Zealots in my opponent's base, a 6th on the way, and that's going to be it. So I've got 6 Zealots right now to the rest of this game. My opponent, though, doesn't have too much in the way of production, though he is morphing another queen and 6 Zerglings. So that's quite a bit of forces, and he's also managing to keep his probes, or his drones, out of combat, his workers out of combat for the time being. Here come the Zerglings. I saw they were going to pop, so I did move my Zealots into position to attack them as they spawned. Now I'm going to work on the hatchery. Going to keep bouncing back to fight him off if he tries to come in and melee me. So I'm here working on his hatchery. The queen pops. That's definitely something I want to kill, so I divert Zealots to attack that. Kind of working on the spawning pool at the same time. This queen goes down pretty fast to Zealots around. And then here come the Zealots again working on the hatchery. His Zerglings, however, have returned from my base. So they've grouped up, so he's got Zerglings and drones. My Zealots can probably kill that force, though, if it comes to that. And each time that he attacks me, I'm going to push him a little bit harder. But here I go, taking down the hatchery, and guess what happens there? All of these Broodlings pop out, and the Broodlings and the Zealots and the Zerglings and the drones all cram in onto my Zealots, surround them, and kill them all. There are even a couple Broodlings, I believe, from the dying spawning pool, and so all those Broodlings at once, plus all of the Zerg player's forces, are enough to give him 2 Zerglings and 3 drones, and with that he is going to take the field. I have nothing left but 2 gateways and a pylon and no crystal, and that is going to be a good game for me. I basically GG to him at this point. These Zerglings will have no trouble taking out my buildings in time, and that's the game. This is definitely the closest game of Starcraft I've played in quite a while, and probably also one of the fastest. That didn't end immediately to a Zealot rush. So I hope you enjoyed this. Volty signing out.